I can rest because I know that the Lord will grant me rest even in this season. He will meet me on the floor while I'm cleaning up my toddler's spilled breakfast on Sabbath morning. I can spend my time in prayer and worship with Him even while I am still being a mother. Okay, kind of a weird angle, but I just got back from picking up groceries and both the boys fell asleep. So I'm taking this time and only opportunity I probably will have this week to film a video for you. This is something that I've really been thinking about and concentrating on lately, and I know that a lot of the women who follow me are young mothers who are in this early stage of motherhood and that are dealing with toddlers and babies and are just trying to find peace and rest in this season. I completely understand and completely get it. Rest is such an important thing. We see that in the Bible. The Lord commands us to rest, and my family does observe the Sabbath day, and I know a lot of the young mamas who follow me also observe the Sabbath day. So I'm going to be kind of talking into that, but you do not need to keep a Sabbath to implement some of these tips into your life if you're a young mama. A lot of these you can just do on different days throughout the week and just have these steps implemented into your week to find the rest that you need. So before I get into all of that, thank you so much for being here and clicking on this video. If you are new here, please subscribe. I would love to have you stick around. I make videos on faithful and simple living such as motherhood, homemaking, and just your Christian walk of faith. And thank you for bearing with me with the weird angles, and probably the sound will be off and you may be shaking a bit, but this season of motherhood does not give me a lot of time to do things like this and film videos, so I may be doing more voiceover videos in the future because I can do those when they're napping and just are asleep and I can't have the good lighting to film during the night. So thank you for bearing with me, and I really hope this video encourages you if you are in a similar season as me. So I have had to come to learn over the past few months, honestly, that rest is not just a physical thing. It is way more a mental thing. You can still be physically doing stuff but feel rested. I know how hard it can be to rest on Shabbat when you are in this early season of motherhood, because you are still changing dirty diapers and cleaning up messes, having to dress little ones, to feed them. Motherhood does not stop just because the Sabbath day rolls around. It's very hard for it not to feel like a normal day for me because I'm still doing the majority of the things I do every single day. I may not be doing the work that I have to do for my social media managing and my content work. I am not maybe cleaning the bathrooms and putting those kind of things on my schedule that day, but I'm still doing those mundane hard things that I do every single day because I have two little boys. If you do not know, I have a 2-year-old and a baby who's almost 8 months now. So those things that have to be done, I still have to do on Shabbat. There is no way I can just not do it because that is part of their survival, and at this stage, they don't know any difference to the Sabbath day in the way we do. It is just another day for them. They do not know not to make the messes or to have blowouts that mama has to deal with. Those kind of things just still come with the day, and you cannot stop that. So I've had to learn that finding rest is such a mental thing in this season. So I'm going to share with you some things that I have been implementing that really help me find rest and peace on the Sabbath day, so I can still have that rest and that shalom that the Lord gives, but still do those mundane tasks that I have to do because I am a mother. So the first thing is just to shift your mindset. Rest is such a mindset shift. You can decide to be bitter and angry and just frustrated because you have to do all those things. You have to change all the dirty diapers in one day, and you have to clean up mess after mess after mess, and just feeling bitter about that is something that the enemy can really take hold of you for some reason when you're in this early stage of motherhood. I have definitely fallen into that, having the stress and just the overwhelm of all the things that have to be done, and it's nonstop. Day through night, you are on call 24/7, and it does get very, very exhausting, and you can decide to become bitter and angry about it, and then that is overtaking you. It's overtaking your heart on the Sabbath day when you are supposed to just be feeling the Lord's shalom. So realizing that and realizing how to shift your mindset and heart when those feelings arise, decide to be thankful and grateful instead. Look at those messes and things that you are cleaning up as service to the Lord and to your family instead of growing bitter about them. And just realize that there is still going to be little mouths to feed and messes to clean up and diapers to change in this season. And don't get angry about that because you can't do anything about it. And you can either complete those tasks with a happy heart, or make your whole house not have shalom on the Sabbath day because you are feeling angry and bitter about those things. So feeling that you can't rest because you're in that mothering mode just needs to shift in your mind, and pretty much everything else will fall into place. I'm going to give some other tips that you can do to find a little bit more rest and peace in this early stage of motherhood, but just really making that mindset shift will really just change everything that comes with finding peace in this season. I wrote a blog post on this topic. I'll leave it linked below if you want to check it out, but I'm going to read a quote that I wrote in that post and just what the Lord was teaching me during that time. I can rest because I know that the Lord will grant me rest even in this season. He will meet me on the floor while I am cleaning up my toddler's spilt breakfast on Sabbath morning. I can spend my time in prayer and worship with him even while I am still being a mother. Right now in this season, Sabbath is more about resting my burdens in my Father's hands for a day and finding peace in his presence, even more so when Shabbat rolls around. This season is only for a little while. It may seem non-stop and like never ending when you're in it. I feel the same way on so many days, but it is just around for a little while. And I know that right now God is teaching me such an important lesson on rest and finding peace in him, even when I'm doing everything, being in that mothering mode. So I'm going to share just a few tips that you can start implementing to find more peace and maybe just have a few minutes of rest on your Sabbath, even in this early stage of motherhood, or any day that you are wanting to find rest and just spend some time with the Lord, or just have that moment to yourself, because you do not have to observe the Sabbath to do these. I'm just applying those to my Sabbath because that is the day I find rest and peace in the Lord. I would say to make an easy like one pot or crock pot meal for the Sabbath or any day. Just easy all around. You're not dealing with a bunch of dishes because of it. Make it easy on yourself and make meals that are very simple. And then use paper plates. I will not do this every single day, but some Sabbaths I will use paper plates because it is so much easier just to throw away, not clean up the mess, and it just saves me a few minutes of doing dishes when I don't really have to. I can use plastic forks, paper plates. Think a few days ahead. If you are someone who observes the Sabbath, you normally have a prep day on Friday where you prep all the food, clean the house, just prepare for the Sabbath that is the next day. Sometimes though, when the weeks are really crazy, I know that maybe I will not have a lot of time on Friday to prep. I will think a few days ahead, like cleaning different areas and maybe prepping and freezing food on Wednesday or Thursday, just so I will have more time on Friday and not feel so stressed and overwhelmed to prep everything that I can on Friday for Saturday. It just gives me a little more time to prepare things and make sure I have everything prepared that I can find the most rest mentally on the Sabbath. This is something that I have done a few times and I really like doing it. I will not do it every Sabbath because sometimes I just don't have enough time to prep it, but I will make a special toy basket for the boys, mainly Caden. Riley is just now getting into things where he can play, but I will do a special basket of like sensory activities or just toys he hasn't seen in a while, things that will keep him occupied for a little while. And I will pull that out on the Sabbath. I will prep it maybe on Friday or a day before, and then pull it out on Saturday, Sabbath morning or something, and just let him play so I can either spend some time reading or just prayer journaling, something that I need and want to do on the Sabbath that makes me find a little bit of rest. Set a peaceful environment, put on worship music, put some good oils in the diffuser, just maybe make it a little bit more peaceful. Go outside, spend some time outdoors. I don't know, anything that makes you feel rested and at peace. Implement those little things on the Sabbath to just help you feel like you're resting and you're more at peace mentally. And then lastly, ask your husband to take the kids for a little while. It may be like 15 minutes or a couple hours depending on your season, how long your kids can be away from you, just so you can have a little bit of time to read the word, to just spend some time in worship and prayer, even if it's just washing dishes and spending some time with the Lord. Having those few minutes of peace can really help you refocus, reset yourself to go on for the rest of the day, because a lot of us do have help and we do not ask for it enough. I'm very guilty of this as well. But if you do have someone who can help you, if you can ask your husband to take the kids and just watch them, maybe even in just the other room for a few minutes where you can have some quiet time, do so, because sometimes we forget as mothers that our mental health and our physical state overall depends on finding rest and finding that connection and communion with our Heavenly Father. So I think that is about all that I wanted to say on this topic. As I said before, I will leave the blog post link below where you can read that and maybe find a little bit more encouragement in this season of life. If you are a young mama and you observe the Sabbath or have those tips on finding rest in this season, please leave them in the comments below, because I want to implement more, and I know those mamas who watch this will want to know as well. So please leave those below. Thank you again for sticking with me through this video with the weird angles and falling camera, all of that. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you for watching this video and subscribing, and just for those of you who are sticking around. I really do appreciate it, and I want to get back into making more videos for you very soon. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video.